Are IITs and IIMs worth it? You might be wondering, are IITs really worth it today? We're in an era where startup founders come from anywhere. Why is a college tag even important? And I have a different viewpoint on this. I absolutely hate the idea of colleges. I don't think they add any value in a person's life, especially the teaching. And this goes for IITs as well. But there is no denying that the IIT IIMs are worth it. Let's start with startup founders. Of the companies in India that have become unicorns in 2021, this is the number of people from IITs IIMs. It is still a pretty reasonable number. And forget about startups and unicorns. Even the placement rates and the packages are pretty good. Much more than the median in the country. Now, personally, I know a lot of IIT IIM founders, and I think the IITs obviously have a way better network and just way better performance than the IIMs. I feel IIMs is still very iffy in my head, but IIT is very clear. The alumni is awesome. They are very hardworking. They're very talented, very cocky, and very closely knit. The reason a lot of IIT IIM folks end up becoming unicorns is because more of them raise capital in the first place. An IIT IIM founder who goes and does really well and then starts a VC fund is more likely to invest in a fellow IITian. It's just obvious, right? It's how humans work. We invest in what we know. We spend time and energy and money on what we know. And because so many IIT IIM founders are successful, they invest in the next way. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but that's not to say these guys are not hardworking or talented or well-networked with each other. And because they're so well-networked, when one IITian goes out and maybe starts a company and another IITian goes out and becomes a developer, both are doing well. The person in the company can just call the developer and say, do you want to work with me? So access to talent and vice versa, access to jobs is so much better with the IITs. Now, listening to all this, you might say, shit, the IIT IIMs are awesome. They have so much going on for them. I want to be part of the IIT IIMs. And you might think that it's the teaching that's creating these magical effects, but it's not. In fact, and here's a caveat I want to add, I don't think the teaching has anything to do with the quality of IIT IIMs, right? Let's talk about IITs in general first. IITs have something that I like to call a high barrier for entry. How many students get past JEE? How many students try? Here are the numbers. As you can see, a very small fraction of people actually get past the JEEs. It is so difficult. Right? What do you need to do? What do you need to do to get past JEE? You need to be extremely hardworking. You need to have worked your balls off. Many of these people go to quota. They're changing their entire land just to study for an entrance exam. Months they spend just focus on this entrance. So you can see that they're hardworking. There's already a proven model that these guys are going to become successful because the work ethic is there. So it's no surprise that the people that get past the barrier are the cream of the crop in terms of hard work, and many of them in terms of intelligence. And you put them all together. You put some of the most hardworking and intelligent people together, what the hell do you think is going to happen? But in my opinion, it's not the teaching, it's not the brand of the institution, it is the entrance test. The entrance test creates a very tall gate and only few get past. And the ones that get past do very well. So if you're considering going to an IITs, go there for the network, but remember that the hard part in IITs is getting in. If you can get in, then 99% of the problem is solved. But if you can't get in, even then it's okay. Like I like to call the IIT a power center community. These communities are forming elsewhere. Right? There are so many VCs now creating their own community around them. There are so many founders creating communities around them. It is wiser for you to get into one of those communities than to get into the college communities, because in one you spend 4 years and maybe 6 months more in quota, getting through a very tall barrier when you could probably get past much easier, get access much easier. So in summary, the IITs and IIMs are very relevant. The IITs much more than the IIMs, but it's because of the entrance test. And that's starting to change. There are many more communities. Don't get disheartened if you don't get past the JEE. That's all I got to say. Bye.